Picture a warehouse floor at 5 a.m., fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. The smell of cardboard and machine oil thick in the air. A humanoid robot rolls a pallet down an aisle, while a human worker watches from a control station, coffee steam rising beside a tablet screen. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now in fulfillment centers across 3 continents. And if you work with your hands for a living, you've probably felt that knot in your stomach. The one that tightens every time you see another headline about automation. Here's the thing. The conversation around humanoid robot jobs is mostly wrong. Not because robots aren't coming. They absolutely are. But because the story everyone keeps telling misses the actual shift happening beneath the surface. This video isn't financial advice, and your results will depend on your effort, skills, and consistency. But what I'm about to walk you through might change how you think about work over the next decade. Let's start with what's actually on factory floors today. The humanoid robots making headlines aren't the sci-fi androids you're imagining. They're more like sophisticated tools with arms and legs. Think of them as power drills that can walk. A robot arm bolts car doors in a Detroit assembly plant, sparks flying in rhythmic bursts. Another stacks crates in a cold storage facility in Germany, frost clinging to its metal joints. These machines excel at repetitive, predictable tasks. The kind that follow the same pattern 10,000 times a day without variation. But here's where it gets interesting. They struggle with anything that requires judgment in unpredictable environments. A dropped tool, an unexpected obstacle, a package that's slightly crushed. If you've ever watched a robot vacuum get stuck on a rug, you understand the limitation. Now imagine that vacuum trying to navigate a busy loading dock with forklifts, spilled water, and humans moving in every direction. The gap between controlled demonstrations and messy reality is enormous. So what does this mean for humanoid robot jobs and the people currently doing physical work? The pattern we're seeing isn't replacement, it's redistribution. Consider how ATMs affected bank tellers. When ATMs rolled out, everyone predicted tellers would vanish. Instead, the number of bank branches actually increased because operating costs dropped. Tellers shifted from counting cash to handling complex customer problems. Something similar is unfolding in blue-collar work, but with a twist nobody expected. If this is your first time here, I break down technology shifts and what they actually mean for your career. Consider subscribing if that sounds useful. Now, let's talk about the jobs that are genuinely changing. Repetitive lifting in controlled environments is the first to go. Palletizing identical boxes. Moving the same part from bin to machine 800 times a shift. Loading trucks with standardized containers. A robot arm swings smoothly in a pharmaceutical warehouse. White pills cascading into bottles on a conveyor belt that hums without pause. These tasks are being automated not because companies hate workers, but because the math finally works. A humanoid robot that costs $200,000 and runs 3 shifts without breaks starts looking economical compared to wages, benefits, and turnover costs. But here's the flip side nobody discusses. These same companies are desperately hiring for roles that didn't exist 5 years ago. Robot technicians, integration specialists, human-machine coordinators. Walk through a modern fulfillment center, clipboard in hand, and you'll see workers monitoring screens filled with robot telemetry. They're not lifting boxes. They're managing fleets. The moral tension here is real and worth naming. We're optimizing for efficiency in ways that might strip meaning from certain kinds of work. The satisfaction of physical labor, the pride in a job done with your hands, that's not nothing. And as we automate repetitive tasks, we should ask what human value might be lost alongside the backaches. Still, the pragmatic question remains. Where should you actually focus? Here's the core surprise I promised. The biggest opportunity in humanoid robot jobs isn't avoiding robots or competing with them. It's becoming the person who makes them useful. Think of it like the relationship between pilots and autopilot systems. When autopilot became sophisticated enough to fly planes for hours without human input, pilots didn't disappear. Their role evolved. They became system managers who handle takeoffs, landings, and the thousands of edge cases that machines can't anticipate. Blue-collar work is entering the same transition. The worker who understands both the physical task and the robot doing it becomes irreplaceable. Not because they can lift more than a machine, but because they can solve problems the machine can't even recognize. A maintenance worker kneels on a concrete floor, grease-stained fingers adjusting a sensor on a humanoid robot's knee joint. while a diagnostic screen glows nearby. This role, call it robot supervision for lack of a better term, pays more than traditional labor because it requires a hybrid skill set. Mechanical intuition plus digital literacy. Public workforce development reports from multiple countries show this emerging category growing faster than any traditional trade. If you're curious, government labor statistics databases offer detailed breakdowns worth exploring. Now, let's address the skeptic in the room. Isn't this just cope? Aren't we just delaying the inevitable? Fair question. And honestly, no one knows for sure. But consider how technology adoption actually works. It's not a light switch. It's more like a river slowly carving a canyon over decades. The transition from horse-drawn transport to automobiles took 50 years. Elevators made buildings taller, but elevator operators existed for decades after automatic systems became possible because people didn't trust machines with their safety. Humanoid robots capable of genuine general-purpose work, the kind that could truly replace a skilled tradesperson, are likely still decades away. Current systems can be impressive in demos and frustratingly limited in deployment. A robot stumbles slightly on uneven ground outside a warehouse loading dock, rain pattering on its sensor array as a technician watches and takes notes. The bottleneck isn't hardware, it's software intelligence and real-world adaptability. So what should you actually do with this information? 3 practical directions worth considering. First, get curious about the machines entering your industry. You don't need an engineering degree. You need familiarity. Visit a trade show. Watch teardown videos. Understand how these systems fail, because failure is where human value lives. Second, develop skills that complement automation rather than compete with it. Problem solving in chaotic environments. Communication between technical and non-technical teams. Quality judgment that requires contextual understanding. Third, pay attention to which employers are investing in human-robot collaboration versus which are simply trying to cut headcount. The difference matters for your long-term security. A worker scrolls through job listings on a phone screen, late evening lights slanting through apartment blinds, a cup of cold coffee on the desk beside them. This isn't about being anti-technology or pro-technology. It's about being realistic. Humanoid robot jobs represent a genuine shift, but not the cliff everyone fears. More like a slope you can navigate if you see it clearly. The workers who thrive won't be the ones who pretend nothing is changing, and they won't be the ones who panic and assume the worst. They'll be the ones who understand that when new tools arrive, new roles emerge for the people who learn to use them. Think back to the warehouse floor I described at the start. That human watching the robot from the control station isn't a relic. They're a preview of what's coming. The blue-collar shift isn't from human to machine. It's from pure physical labor to physical digital hybrid work. And that transition, while uncomfortable, is also an opportunity hiding in plain sight. Here's my question for you. What skill do you have right now that a robot couldn't easily replicate? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you come up with. If you found this useful, subscribe for more breakdowns on technology shifts and what they actually mean for your future. I'll see you in the next one.